Ayo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Potter with the Grandmaster Glass YouTube channel. We're doing another weekly market watch, talking about the heady glass community, and we're covering the 1K show. Happened a couple days ago, and they put all of the available pieces up online, so I felt like it was a cool opportunity to sit down with you guys, maybe learn about a few new artists that you didn't know about, and just see some art that's priced at 1K so you know exactly what you're looking at. It might be above your budget, it might be below your budget, but just having that price tag and knowing what you're looking at and having the artist tasked to make a piece that sells for 1K is, I think, a really cool challenge for one way or another. So let's just jump right into it, guys. Alrighty, we're at the 1K show website. And then just a little bit of the About Me section right here. The premise of this event is a unique one that can be looked at from many angles. All art from every artist will be priced at the exact same price, $1,000. The purpose is not to pin an artist versus artist, but to challenge the artist to come up with something unique given the price point. And to me, it's like whether you would usually make a piece for $1,000 or if you usually sell your pieces for well over $1,000. It just kind of gives every artist that equal playing field of this is worth $1,000. So put what it's worth, put the effort in what it's worth. So I think that's kind of cool. With rising practice of glass, yeah, you can see everything there. With the rising price of glass art, this idea has sparked some debate in the industry, but we feel it's all for the better. And that's kind of what I was saying, like whether it's like over or under your budget or just kind of like putting that I don't know, like that price tag on somebody's artwork is really hard because every piece is different. So you might go in thinking, oh, I'm going to charge 1,000, but it actually took 3 times the amount of effort and resources to make it. So it's kind of something to think about. But most artists tend to make something worth more than 1,000, either as a way to give back to the collectors who have shown them support for years, or to challenge themselves to come up with something new. If their work normally sells for well over 1,000, during this show, everyone is equal. So that's kind of what I was saying, like having a big hitter where their pieces sell for upwards of $20,000. So having a piece from them for $1,000 actually might be really rare and a gem, but having that artist being willing to make something at that price point is pretty cool. There is a lot of angles to the show, whether you're a collector, artist, or even someone new getting into the scene. So I thought that's why it was cool to make this video. Come be a part of the 5th annual 1K show. So I think that's what we're going to be doing right here. We're going to be looking at all the available art left from the 1K show. I know they went live, I think, on Saturday and had a show, in-person show. So to my knowledge, I guess all the pieces that were left, they took the time to photograph and upload to this website. And quite a few of them have sold. So we're going to see what's left. Alrighty, and so like I said, some of these artists are going to be new to me, so I'm going to be hitting that follow, and I'm going to be learning about some of these artists for the first time because you just can't know everything. So yeah, so this first person, and some of these names I might have heard of or might have seen collabs and just never hit that follow just along the way, but D Long, and like I said, everything is $1,000, so you just kind of know looking at it what it's worth and what you value, your money, your effort, for their effort. So I think that's just super cool. And yeah, just this whole kind of mossy, earthy feel with the compressed like leaf with the texture in that. And I'm glad they got that really close up because that and the flower is the highlight of the piece. It kind of looks like there might be dichro in the mouth in the hammer part. But yeah, just to see a old school kind of hammer piece is, I think, kind of refreshing, and having that earthy textural tone on it is cool. I like the texture, kind of the risen part on the edges, kind of gives it that grip and textured feel. So yeah, just having that dry piece from DeLong. And up next, some of these names. So it's like I'm not super familiar with all of these artists. Sketchy. I'm not even gonna try to say some of these names, but yeah, just that old school, vase style with the slide. Yeah, for that 1K price point, just kind of takes you back to like I've never even used one of those, but late 90s, I guess, right? Early 2000s. But yeah, just graphics tube number 1 by a sketchy. Yeah, I don't know his name, but yeah, $1,000. Kind of looks like it's in like Nemo or something. I don't even know what color that is. With the giant foot at the bottom. I mean, that's definitely a sizable piece, and just that classic chug that would produce definitely hits people the right way. That nostalgia feel. So yeah. Up next, we have got somebody that I just featured last episode, and I have just now learned about is Reggie's. And I believe that's how you say his name right there. Yeah, there it is, highlighted. Reggie's, yeah. And he's just got that tie-dye, huge tie-dye vibe going on. The stubby little tube, I think that's like the perfect little travel piece. And if you already have one of his pieces to have his matching prep work, or like that Rude Boy pendant I featured, just any of his work paired with his tie-dye work and his shirts, I think is super, super cool. So having that at $1,000 price point is very, very cool to see. Just how big that swirl is right there. Fixed down stem, yeah, not removable. And yeah, just your classic mini tube, I would say. So I think it's probably too small for flower, but definitely concentrate. So that's pretty cool. And that one's out of stock, actually. What was the last? Was the last one still available? The last two? Yeah. So both of those are still available, but the Reggie's one is gone. And up next, we've got Wookin' for Terps. And I feel like I've heard this name before as well, but I don't follow him. He's got like that almost gong squiggle tech going on with the definitely textured deep milli work. So I think that's pretty cool. Just the overall vibe is chaotic. And just the tube shaping is very unique. I wouldn't say that's very common. Removable downstem. And it looks like the foot might be hollow. So that holds water, and I think that adds to weight. So just depends, but I like the open foot like that so it can hold water. Kind of adds to a little bit extra of the bubble and freshness of water, I would say, as well. So, and that one is available as well, Wookin' for Terps. And up next, we've got Bear Claw. So this one I actually was looking at for a minute before the show. So much going on this piece. It's like you could stare for hours and just see all of these connections and facets, and like the way it all connects together is definitely old school, and I love the vibe on it. Just to own a piece like that, have it on the shelf, and just be able to look at it and be inspired by it. Looks like Dewar joint. And it might actually be fixed. Is this a water piece or a fixed? I can't tell if that's a joint fitting at the top, if that's a 10 mil 14 or something, or if that's a fixed bowl. I think that would actually be a huge drawback if it was a fixed bowl. But that's the old school vibe, so it actually might be. And you know, when you're looking for a certain vibe, that might be what you need. So they don't have a bowl in it. If they had a bowl in it, it would make me feel more confident that it was like a fitting. No, you know, looking at that picture right there, right at the top, you can kind of see it shaping out. So it might actually just have a push bowl in it. And yeah, just to empty the water out of that thing is a challenge. So, and because it's got all that fume, you probably want it to get resonated. You don't want to wash it out all the time and clean it with ISO and all that. So yeah, just hitting that old school vibe. Bear Claw, super, super cool. I don't follow him or they or her, so I'm definitely gonna hit that follow. So yeah. Up next, Stephen Pierce. So this name I've definitely heard before, and once again, I don't follow them, so I'm gonna make sure I hit the follow after the show. And yeah, this guy, yeah, this piece in general. So it's more than one piece. That's really cool. So it's like a funnel pour over coffee maker. Interesting. Very, very cool. Just having that top that fits, that funnels in is I haven't seen anything like that really. So I'm not big into coffee, I will say, but having this piece kind of jumping out from the functional art, or the more everyday functional art. Kind of jumping away from the pieces into the glasses, and I think that's pretty cool. So I wonder what other pieces there were that weren't like smoking related, that were you know, everyday household items, or I wonder if there were like any like lamps or anything like that. But yeah, Stephen Pierce, super super precise with that handle work, and just the fitting top funnel is exquisite. I really really like that, and still available as well. Up next, we have got Juve's glass. Yeah, probably Juve's. Uh, and yeah, this one is super super cool with the inlaid fume almost. I would say it's kind of like that fume trap kind of imagery tech, and just the overall shaping of the piece and the way it sits is very very unique. It's not like a cookie cutter piece that you see every day on the shelf when you walk in somewhere. So yeah, just him taking the time to you know, elevate his thought process with the shaping and try to get that next level feel. So the water's pulling, but gravity is wanting to have the water drop back forward. So I'm sure that piece really lends itself in the water splash management. So I think that's really cool. Probably, I don't know, maybe Haterade. It's a very deep poppin' green. So yeah, super super cool, Juves. And this is somebody else I don't know, so I'm gonna definitely drop a follow. And up next, Mark Andrews. So this one I saw as well. He's taken the time, and once again, I don't know this guy. I don't follow him. Maybe he makes boxes for all of his pieces, but he's taken the time to make a leather bound pelican almost. So it might be 3D printed. From the outside, that almost looks like wet leather or wood. But now actually going back and seeing these edges, that actually looks 3D printed. Whether or not, however it's made to take the effort to have a package for a piece is special, I would say. It feels, just that unboxing is nice. Moving to the actual functional art, having all these tiny opals laid in with these like almost dot implosions is super super wild. I feel like I've definitely seen this might be his style or his tech, because I've seen, you know, a couple bubble caps that look like this. So I'm just now, it's like when you see a car on the road for the first time and then you start seeing it all the time. I think I've seen a couple of his pieces around, so that is really really cool. Just that overall cotton candy kind of sprinkled effect going on with all of the opals. I don't know how many opals, so like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, you know, there's probably 30 tiny like those are 1mm opals, like 30 of them laid around the center. Yeah, that's a pretty epic piece, very technical, and I would see why you would take the time to make a carrying case, a box for it, because yeah, that's an absolute gem right there, and it's still available. Mark Andrews, that's what we're talking about. And up next, so we've got like another old school vibing piece, and this is really cool to look at. So it's some two people I don't know, Cowboy I do, OBOG, Facet Mama, and Cowboys collab with this old school kind of chaos Sherlock kind of double style. So all of those areas catch the ash, and then the mouthpiece comes back around. Just have one more little ash catch spot. So I mean, you can rage that. That is a rager, and yeah, just all the line work and detail in it. So that's definitely where Cowboy's coming in right here. And I'm guessing this is going to be the OBOG, and then the Facet Mama is maybe over here on the sides. And yeah, just the overall collaboration is very very cool. It's chaotic, but it flows. So, and also just to take a moment and note all these backgrounds, the similarity, and just the effort that the show has taken to put all these photos online is super super cool. I like the flow, because you kind of feel like you're in a gallery. You feel like you're still at the show, even though you didn't attend it. So we're attending it together right now. But yeah, just this overall piece and aesthetic is hitting the old school vibes hard, and I like to see that. And you know, all these artists have been around for a really long time. You know, I'm new in the glass scene, so I can't even speak to this, because I think Cowboy's probably been blowing glass for 20 years. So it's just one of those things where a lot of experience and hard work comes together, and you can always pull these old school vibe pieces off. So yeah, I just love to see it. And there's probably the other part of the facet on the other side. I wonder who did the dot stacking. So OBOG maybe. But yeah, this piece is cool. It would be awesome to hold that in the hand. The weight on it, how big it is. just the overall shaping and aesthetic probably fits perfectly, even though it kind of doesn't look, like it would be the most, you know, easy thing to hold, or it's like, whoa, look how big and bulky it is, but it looks like it probably sits in your hand perfect. So, yeah, just from my perspective at least. Up next, we have got Aquarius, legendary Japanese artist. So, yeah, this guy, he comes out with those characters like nobody's business. So, this bowl is definitely fixed on it. So, once again, hitting those old school vibes, I'm starting to kind of see a theme, and I like it. I really do. Just pulling in those roots. And it's got a carb on the backside. So, just this fat little bubbler, this little bunny bubbler almost. I'm sure he's got. I'm sure he's got a name for these guys, but I'm just getting a bunny vibe from him. So yeah, just that the attachment on the back is so chill, but like hits so hard. I wish I could see like a zoomed in close up. Looks like one eye has a little bit of color in it, but yeah, just this little bombshell of a piece. So and it is still available. Aquarius Glass. Hit that shit up. Up next, we've got a super unique piece. So this one, and once again, so I'm not super familiar with this artist, Magamus, and I'm definitely going to hit the follow with these facet works and just this overall, I mean, it literally looks like a tree. Like, how cool is that? It's kind of like almost taking that electroform idea and then just adding like texture and just the overall aesthetics. Got a removable down stem for easy cleaning. Just the overall, it's probably sandblasted maybe, and yeah, just the overall effort of this piece is like something I've not seen. It's not something very common, and to have this set at $1,000 price point, I would have guessed way more. Not knowing that it's at this show, if you would have just shown me this any random time, been like, hey, look at this piece. How much do you think this costs? $2,500, easily. Just the overall effort and aesthetic of the piece hits so hard. That is really, for me, this is probably going to be one of the highlights. And I'm very glad I've found out about this artist, because how cool. I mean, literally, I start to not be able to talk about it because I like it so much. But yeah, just the added, it feels overgrown onto the piece. The base and the mouthpiece sticking out, so you know that it's like, this, I would say, like this magical, I don't know, glass has grown over another layer of glass and grown these shards, and yeah, that looks super cool. I can't quite tell how high or tall it is, but I would imagine that's a good little handful in your hand. So yeah, that's legendary. Magnus. Very cool if I'm saying the name right, but hell yeah. Up next, we've got a legendary chainmaker Hex. So to go from the glass to the metal working is super cool to see, something you don't see very often. And just the overall effort. So it's going to have a chain and the bracelet, so that hits super hard. This one's still available as well. And so I'm sure if you needed it to be a different link, you could adjust it. And just the aesthetics and the how delicate it is, it definitely is elegant. And that is an awesome chain, super unique idea. I kind of like the groupings too. So him taking the effort to combine the metal to the glass, very cool. Hex Glass. Up next, J-Fell. Okay, we're pushing on into some crazy heaters towards the end of this list, and J-Fell with a killer, very unique style Sherlock. The overall shaping is not something very common. And I'm sure that it's very ergonomic in the hand, and just that attachment and how it's been polished off on the edge, just to have somewhere for your thumb to sit, just the shaping and flowing from each section with the milli work, and the color. I couldn't even take a guess on what that color is. It looks like it's as if it's UV, and it's kind of like a flamingo color, but I think that's just in normal light. So there's no way I could even guess what color. How cool is that, guys? I mean, sometimes you just have pieces that are you just marvel at, and J-Fell does not fall short. He is one of those people that piece after piece after piece blows you away. So yeah, just to see this and the shaping and just how unique it is, very legendary from J-Fell. 1K, and if you can believe it, I think that's still available. So hit that shit up. Up next. All right, we've got Cage Glass, somebody who does a lot of collaborations, and I know that's how I found him, was just through one of his mini collaborations, maybe the Domino collab. But yeah, just this piece right here, just rocketing off. You know, it's very, very simple, and it's probably sandblasted, so it's very smooth, and just the whole aesthetic is he nails his artistic style, and the execution from piece to piece is definitely recognizable. So I love to see that. So when you see his piece, you instantly know that's Cage Glass. So killing it with the rockets taking off. That one's sold. So think again. Up next, we have got another collab from Cowboy, and this one is with JD and then Facet Mama again. Okay, cool. And so this is like a slurper. Yeah, so this is a slurper cap, so you don't have to worry about adding the holes or anything like that. And so just to see the layering in style, just from probably, I would say, JD in the bottom, then we've got Cowboy in the center, and then Facet Mama on the top. So maybe JD on the top in the middle, or on the top in the bottom. I'm not sure whose Millie that is. I think I saw that on the other piece. So that actually might be a Facet Mama or a Cowboy Millie. But yeah, and then just to have this kind of questioning, like which artist is which part of the collab, is just kind of all part of the fun of seeing these pieces and seeing collab works between artists. And yeah, actually now just noticing the facet around the edge of the cap. So that hits very, very hard. Super cool. Still available as well. Cowboy JD Facet Mama collab. Killing it. Up next, we got Dosa. So this is somebody I am familiar with, and I really like his work. And he's got a slurper, a complete slurper set. So that might be, what is that, a cap, or is that faceted? I can't even quite tell what is on the end. So we've got a pillar, a guard, 2 pearls, and then we've got an actual top marble, and that might be faceted so it sits flat, but I can't actually, the optics, I can't quite tell what's going on with it. And the line work with Dosa, and then his legendary Millies on top. Yeah, that piece, I'm super curious about what is going on with that one. But I love the vibes, I love the colors, just his whole body of work always flows, and you can see from one Dosa to another. Super unique, and it can't be mistaken. So one of the reasons I love seeing his work. Up next, somebody that's going to be new to me, and this is going to be Maxwell, and he's got some of that old school dot stacking put into a very unique shaped piece. I really like this. Is that a removable, or is it fixed? Looks like it might be fixed, and then it's worked as well. So a fixed worked downstem. I know that is not easy, so that's super cool to see. Something you don't see very often. You'll see like a removable, or it is fixed, but to have it be worked as well, just hitting those old school vibes again. You'd see usually like maybe a worked wigwag downstem, but a worked dot stack downstem. Hitting it, Maxwell. And the attachment on the backside, the overall shaping. This could be terps, maybe tangy. I'm not super good with oranges, and there's not a lot on the market. This could even be a self-mixed color, which would be probably even cooler. So this one is available as well, and I'm going to make sure I hit that follow after the episode for sure, Maxwell. So up next, and so this one right here, these artists I'm not super familiar with at all, and so I'm going to have to look them all up. Looks like Millie, Mike, Warren with the Millies right there. Starship in every garage. Then we've got Maddie White and Gus. Maddie White, I feel like I might have heard before. But yeah, I'm just going to have to get educated. And having these shows like this lets me get educated, because I just surf Instagram. That's kind of how I find my people. That's kind of how I find all the glass people to follow. So having shows like this where it brings people together is an opportunity that I definitely don't want to miss out on. So I'm going to hit all of these people up after the show. But looking at this piece right now, not knowing very much about it, we've got all of this dichro, or not knowing very much about the artist, got all of this dichro and these huge millies. So I mean, these are huge chunks. Those aren't even magnified. There's very little clear making the optics. So those are huge milli chunks on the side of that piece with the drop down, kind of banger hanger style piece. We've got some dragonflies as well, and a whole bunch of opals I'm just now noticing everywhere. So, I mean, this between 1, 2, 3, 4 artists, I mean, there's a lot of work going into this piece. So, got a little bit of oil catch right there down to a fix, probably maybe a little 2-hole, 3-hole. And yeah, just the overall style and aesthetic of this piece with the dichro hitting with the opals is very, very cool. So, love to see these collabs and love to see new artists. So, I'm going to be hitting the follow. Up next, and Windstar. So, this one, I feel like a lot of people are familiar with her, and female artist I love to represent, and she absolutely crushes her art and her trade, and she's always winning competitions, and she stays on the grind, and her work really speaks for itself. This piece hitting almost like a classic shaping, but her own twist. I love the tight mouthpiece, the faceted attachment on it. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with this piece. Removable down stem, easy to clean. Yeah, just this whole piece, you know, and having these pieces in your hand, there's a little deadhead, rose. So, yeah, just having this piece in your hand and being able to see the full body and the full can is very, very, seeing that full piece in your hand is definitely a real treat. And this one is sold, so Windstar gone from the 1K show. Hell yeah. Up next, hell yeah. So Kabuki Glass, somebody I've watched a few demos of, and I really, really love his artwork and his his samurais and just his overall approach to art and how unique his stuff is. And this piece doesn't fall short. Having this kind of drag racer with his Kabuki marble inside of it, super, super cool. And yeah, just to see his detail work and how he gets these creatures and these images into the glass is really magic. And so I love to see it. Puts a smile on my face. Kabuki Glass. And up next, so we've got another collab. Hell yeah. So they were heavy with the collabs. So yeah, this is another one. So this is maybe the third collab from Cowboy, and the second one with JD and Facet Mama. And this one's another slurper cap, it looks like. We've got JD at the bottom and the top probably. Then we've got Cowboy in the center, and then Facet Mama off at the top. And yeah, this overall shape of the piece is super, super cool. Just the kind of icy feel to it, I really, really like. And faceted on the sides as well. Again, faceted along the top. Very, very cool piece. Really cool photography as well. And how symmetrical it is and the way it sits right there. Yeah, that's a well-balanced piece. Slurper Cap collab. Up next, we've got some number 4, and this one gone. And I know his pieces are, you know, very unique, not easy to get a hold of. So when you see a piece of his go up for sale, they usually get grabbed. And yeah, this guy, he's always pushing this innovative, clear prototypes almost. I mean, they're very unique. None of them are really the same, I don't think. And he's just constantly trying to put a twist on, you know, functional art. And it's really, really cool to see the overall shaping. And it's just something that you don't see. It's very, very one of one. And it's very unique to him, at least. So, some number 4. And up next, we've got somebody new to me, Macabre Glass, Macabre Billion. And yeah, so this solo Sherlock is fumed to the moon and back. I mean, the overall shaping is, and I've said it a lot during the show, but the shaping is so unique. It's something that you just don't see every day. And this piece right here, this is somebody I don't know, and I'm gonna become more educated on. And yeah, just the fume work. And so we've hit the black background so we could see it a little bit better. And yeah, just how tall that piece sits. Yeah, and just the overall dish kind of feel for the bowl. How cool is that? And just the deep fuming on that. So when the very first time you use that, I bet you it changes so many different colors. What a cool piece. Macabre Glass. Macabre Billion. So, yeah. Gonna definitely look him up after the show. Up next, Triple A. Somebody else who is new to me and hitting that Sherlock vibe. So it looks like we've got maybe a little one-hitter with a starfish, and then we've got a Sherlock, and we've got the mermaid and the mermaid boobies up top. What a fun piece. Very, very unique. I've not seen a piece like that, so yeah, smoking out the top of her body. And yeah, what a cool texture. Just hits that seashell beach vibe very, very well in the prep work in that. So very, very cool. AAA. And up next, we've got somebody else who is new to me. And yeah, I'd like to say more than half the people at this show are new to me. And I love that. So it's just more artists, more inspiration, and things that I wasn't, privy to. Now I know because of this 1K show, more artists. And I really do love that. And we've got Janie Rise. I think I'm saying that name. Gahannny. Janie Rise. I think I'm saying that right. And I'm going to have to look them up after the show and learn more about them. But yeah, this piece right here, how cool is that? The coloring and the aesthetics and just the color palette of that piece, the wrapped up like fume work is very, very cool. I don't even know kind of what color he started, or she or they could be a multi-person name, but he or she or whoever, what color they started with for the base on that, because that's wicked cool. All the little attachments and cabs on there, 1 2 3 4 5, like 6 at least. So wow, yeah, that's really cool. It looks like a little bit of metallic sprinkle kind of shine to it. So yeah, Janie Rise. Up next, another piece by Aquarius. So it looks like he had at least 2 into the show, and this one is like another kind of like starship kind of alien vibe. And oh, that's really cool, the attachment on the side. And once again, it's a fixed a dry piece, and got the carb right there, fixed bowl up top. And he's got like this bunny starship vibe, and yeah, all the way from Japan. Super cool Aquarius glass. To see his art in this show all the way from Japan, I think is a real treat. And just that underlying color, maybe like a gold ruby, some kind of deep red. It's very cool on having these pieces in the show. Kind of seeing the similarity from that other ball one to this kind of spaceship one, I think is really cool. Aquarius. And up next, we've got, looks like a second entry from Hex Glass with a crushed opal chain. Crushed opal is not easy to use, and to incorporate and put it into a chain is next level. And to have a price tag of $1,000 on it, that's crazy. And to have it still available, I find that really crazy. So yeah, just the piece itself speaks for it. The piece speaks for itself. And yeah, crushed opal baller chain, like hell yeah, Hex Glass. And up next, somebody I am familiar with, Cameron Burns. And whenever he has pieces break, he uses the leftovers and makes pictures out of them and kind of puts them in these frames and just kind of makes whatever he sees with the broken glass and puts them in epoxy as well. So to see that in, reusing glass, because I mean, these wigwags, I mean, it's not easy prepping the glass, then actually shaping and wigging and wagging, and then having it break. It's like, man, you don't want to waste that. So seeing how he's incorporated his broken glass into other art is really cool. So Cameron Burns, check that guy out. And up next, Dave Strobel, and this is somebody I am very familiar with. Stays with kind of like the aquatic fish vibes and the aquatic millies. And so if you're into that, he is the man for you, because that is his thing. So sometimes you'll see other people, he'll sell his millies off. You can get them places. So you can buy them. But yeah, obviously he uses his own millies and incorporates them into marbles and pieces and dries and wets. And yeah, just the overall vibe of his pieces is instantly recognizable and definitely legendary in the art scene. So definitely check him out, Dave Strobel. That one, by the way, out of stock. Up next, we have got Justin Freeman collab. Who is it a collab with? I am not sure. Or is his name Justin Freeman collab? Don't know. But we've got a 10mm flask style rig, and having the fittings on those pieces is very unique. I have seen somebody who makes pieces like this, so I don't know if they've just forgotten off the other person's name. But yeah, this is super cool. A flask style rig, and the rig, or the banger goes in that side, mouthpiece on that side, then the kind of, I would say kind of, I don't even know. what kind of downstem that is, but kind of like the body downstem that's incorporated into the piece. And then yeah, just the gecko on it. Super cool. And up next, we've got Adam Reeth, somebody else I am not familiar with. And like a lot of these people, I'm trying to go through the people that I don't know that I want to share with all of you guys. And this dry Sherlock is epic. I mean, look at the size. It's like a giant horn. Just the inlaid reticello in the actual bowl piece is so unique. How cool is that? And just that up top view, you're gonna always want to keep that clean after every use. That's crazy. Yeah, and just the attached opal on the side, just hitting that $1,000 price point hard for the value on that one. So I'm definitely gonna have to look him up. Just the shaping and just the style is very cool. I really like that. Adam Reeth's glass. Up next, we got Dillinger Glass, somebody I am familiar with, just with the overall chaos milli tech and incorporating in these old school tubes, removable downstem, spinner cap, just a wig-wag layering fume milli. I mean, how much can you put into a piece and how many layers? Well, a lot, actually, a lot. But this guy is legendary in the glass scene, been around forever, just pulls out the heaters. Dillinger Glass, go check him out. Oh, I didn't even notice that. The two downstems. So hey, you're vibing one day, you're vibing the other. Swap them out. One's dirty, one's clean. One's flour, one's concentrate. Hell yeah, that's some options, and I like that. Very cool, Dillinger Glass. Okay, and so we've got another piece from Adam Reeth. This one actually is sold. The other one is still available, and this I don't know how you get the pendant, but you don't get the matching Sherlock. You crazy. But yeah, this one right here, just maybe with the moonstone on top, the opal triangle opal hitting in the center with the just kind of trippy fade in the center. I mean, wow. I mean, I don't even know. You wigged and you wagged the center of the reticello as you pulled out the center. How legendary, how cool, how unique, how one of one. Very cool, Adam Reeth. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. So I felt it was an awesome opportunity to sit down with you guys, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Flip over there. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I sat down for a good 30 minutes talking with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed me covering the 1K show. Hopefully I start covering more shows the more they start happening, and just getting more comfortable making videos for you guys and just talking about glass. So if you liked what you watched, definitely hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment on what artist was your favorite or what artist you think I need to cover in next week's episode. And yeah, just remember, guys, never stop evolving.